subscribe? Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Understand some foundational Black Americans. Let me talk to the foundational Black American family for a minute. Let me see some Black fists. Let me see how many FBAs up in here tonight. Let me see some of them Black FBA fist emojis. Let me see some of them FBA fist. See, we got to start learning how to leverage our soft power as foundational Black Americans. See, America has its soft power, but their soft power has declined because of the hypocrisy. You understand? A lot of it has declined because of the hypocrisy. And we got to understand how to leverage the soft power that we have. Now, what is soft power? What does that mean? Soft power basically is America's ability to influence other countries and global populations through basically cultural appeal, political ideas, and value, rather than military and economic force. See, the hard power is you going in there with tanks and guns and smacking people around. So that hard power, that's kind of dangerous because that builds up a resentment. So America, it gets its foot in the door with soft power. Soft power is basically you using your culture to become infused into other societies and getting them on board. So there's several things that are a part of America's soft power. You know, in America we have a strong military, but again, you got China and places like that trying to be militaristically hard and running up on folks militaristically. See, uh, that can't work all the time. So when you use soft power, you use things like, the Hollywood film industry, TV shows, music, hip hop, jazz, all of our music, fashion, that dominates the global media. So American lifestyle, these are aspirational worldwide. That comes from us, by the way. See, America's soft power is all of the cultures that we are creating. See, we have to really understand this game from a political standpoint, also political values. The whole ideology of freedom of speech and democracy and civil rights, that's promoted as core American values, and that influences like global democratic movements. Even if it's inconsistent at home, even because it's very inconsistent here. This is why they try to make us shut up and not talk about the hypocrisy. Also, higher education, that's a form of soft power, technological innovation, global media dominance. You see, hell, even English, because the other day I was talking with some tethers about different languages. English, that's a global language. And that's a tool for spreading America's influence. A lot of our philanthropic efforts and humanitarian aid, these US based NGOs, these international aid programs and charitable foundations, that's a form of soft power. Like, hey, I'm about to come in here and help feed your family. I heard y'all hungry. Now, while you guys are eating this rice that I brought over for you, let me go on over here and get these diamonds and get this oil and this gold real quick because you ain't doing nothing with it. See, that's how soft power works. A lot of pop icons and celebrity culture. See, a lot of American celebrities, they have global fan bases. You see. So a lot of them, we got Beyonce, Taylor Swift, LeBron James, so many others. They act as basically unofficial ambassadors of American values and lifestyles. And also another part of our soft power is our social movements. You did a lot of movements that we get popping on the grassroots. The whole Black Lives Matter thing. A lot of movements and things that the Black grassroots engage in, they use that as a part of America's soft power. You see, and the whole American dream ideology that anybody can come over and make it in America. You come over through hard work and all that, and you can make it. But you have to come over here and really walk the trail that foundational Black Americans kicked open. So a lot of what America's soft power is comes from foundational Black American culture. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, when the George Floyd riots popped off in 2020, America's soft power started to diminish to a certain degree because, see, America would go in and act as the moral authority. And then when we said, hey, they ain't no moral authority, they're doing janky shit over here, and it's bad, that made the international community turn on America's soft power. You understand? There were riots all over the world, and people were pissed at the United States for how they were treating us, ladies and gentlemen. The world was looking like, wait a minute, you guys are coming over to our country telling us that we're dictators and we're fascists and we're abusing the people, and you guys are choking the Black people over there to death? How dare you? Give me that Molotov cocktail and drive me down to the damn US Embassy. They were on that vibe, you see? So we got to understand the soft power thing and the importance of it, and why America's soft power has declined, you see, because the repeated broadcast of police brutality, racial injustice, militarized crackdowns, see, that revealed a deep hypocrisy, and it shattered that image, especially among younger people globally. And also with the global spread of smartphones and social media, that changed the optics. See, in the past, America, they basically controlled how the story of America was sold overseas through Hollywood and through media conglomerates. But now with live streams of everything, you can show police killings and racial uprisings. This it goes viral. People around the world now, they can see raw, unfiltered truth. And that contradicts America's idealized self-image. And again, going back to the George Floyd thing, that whole situation where he was lynched like that, that symbolized the collapse of America's, white America's moral high ground. And when that was broadcast around the world, that shocked the world. And that became a visual metaphor for the systemic oppression in the very nation that always lectures people about justice. So that gave a real big black eye to America's credibility, man. I'm telling you that those riots, that was a bad look for white America. That was a bad look for them. You see, because see, you got to understand this soft power, it relies on admiration, not fear. See, they have to look at America and say, "Hey, man, those people are great over there. It's a racial utopia. Look how great they are." And when you see some bullshit happening, and when you look at us and we're telling the truth, people are going to question that, and that admiration for the dominant white society over here that erodes. So countries like China and Russia, they rule through force. See, America, they distinguish themselves as projecting an idea that other people want to emulate. But when you have racial unrest and all types of other junky stuff, that plants the seeds of skepticism and ridicule. uh, And Hollywood and pop culture, they can't really mask reality no more. You see, because now again, you got the grassroots media telling the truth out here. And what's going on is that the grassroots media, we're influencing people who are connected with the corporate structure, like Kendrick Lamar, the number one song in the country, Not Like Us, won a Grammy. That was a grassroots influenced song. That was the theme. That became the rallying cry for the grassroots because he was speaking grassroots language. As we see, the number one movie in the country right now Sinners, the director, is talking grassroots language. He's influenced by the grassroots, and we're influencing the corporate structure and telling the truth. So, America, or white America, you can't really play the finesse game with the optics no more. And weaponizing democracy abroad, it looks hypocritical. See, when America starts condemning authoritarianism in other countries, critics are going to be like, "Hey, look, no, 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 you can't come over here with that bullshit. Look at, we see how you treating your folks over there. So no, 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 y'all not going to come over here wagging your finger with militarized police. Oh no, 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 you're not going to do that. No, you can't use human rights as leverage because you're gonna get called out. And boy, China, when you remember the whole George Floyd thing, China was milking that shit. China was like, oh, so y'all talk, yo, hey, Mr. Democracy, hey, big head, where's your democracy now? Look at what you're doing to the blacks. Is that what you do? We don't be doing black people like that. Yeah, they were rubbing it in the U.S.'s face. See, that's why they like to shut us up. They like for us to be quiet and not talk about racism. That's one of the reasons why, ladies and gentlemen, because people listen. The international community listens. You understand? They pay attention. And the thing is, the decline of American institutions, that tarnishes the soft power brand, you know, from all of these violent resurrections and um, these white supremacist shakedowns and these alt-right types doing what they do and we calling them out. See, these US institutions, they can't appear competent and thorough like they think they are. So global trust in the so-called American way of life, that's eroded. So that's a bad look. Just like with the Kyle Rittenhouse case, that's a bad look to sit up here and show the court system bend over for this idiot. That makes us look goofy as hell on the international stage. You see? Very bad look. And then they try to shut us up, and we won't shut up. Because, see, America's domestic divisions, they now broadcast as global weakness. See, the world watches as the US, they watch how they're consumed by culture wars, racial conflict, political extremism, and these internal fractures that suggests instability. So that makes the US look less like a global leader and more like a nation in decline. So a lot of people start losing confidence in the system, you see. So white America's soft power has gone in the tank because of all of the hypocrisy. Now, family, black folks, that's an opportunity for us to utilize our soft power and to capitalize off our soft power because we've always been the source of America's soft power anyway. And we got to start leveraging that. See, we have to leverage global cultural influence. See, foundation Black Americans, we are the global tastemakers in music, fashion, slang, entertainment. So, that can be monetized through ownership of media platforms, production companies, rather than us just being talent. We need to start owning some of these networks where we get that talent out there. See, we let other people sit up here and be gatekeepers for our damn talent. There's nothing stopping us from management, nothing. We could be doing all that stuff. And also, some things we can be doing, man. We could be creating international cultural tourism, just like Japan markets samurai history and Jamaica markets reggae. We can utilize our museums, like we got the Hidden History Museum. We can do tours, festivals, like Juneteenth tours, hip hop history events. That's why we had to take hip hop back and not let people false claim it. We need to do what we did with microphone check. Just let folks know culturally this is from foundational Black American culture. We need to start getting into the tourism thing. We need to control that. And I saw that down when I was in New Orleans. Black folks, my New Orleans family, y'all need to be capitalizing off New Orleans culture because you got so many tourists down there and they be up in the French quarters and those areas. And I see white people down there trying to give culture tours. And it's real easy. All they do is walk around the French quarters and just talk about this building was here and this building got started here. And New Orleans was founded in 17, this and man, the black folks down there can be doing that. The foundational Black American family. Y'all can isn't that simple. You don't need anything except a cash app because most of y'all down there know the history because I talk to you. I go down there and I talk to random black folks. Y'all know the whole history of New Orleans. But the thing is, here's the thing, and this is what gets y'all. See, most black foundational Black Americans in New Orleans, they hate the French Quarters. They hate the tourist areas with a passion. So y'all got to understand. Just look at it from a business perspective. I know y'all don't like it. Because every time I go down there and I tell people I went down to eat somewhere at the French Quarters where they freak out. Oh, you didn't go to the quarters, baby. Don't eat down there, baby. You never go to the quarters, baby. Hit the quarters, baby. So they hate the French Quarters. But look, y'all can be making paper down there, man. I hate to see these random white people out here telling your history and making money. We need to be doing that. We need to be doing that in South Carolina. Um, Birmingham at them civil rights, right outside the Civil Rights Museum. Man, black folks need to be out there on Fourth Avenue giving tours, walking around Fourth Avenue, telling them the history of it, the history of A.G. Gaston, the history of the Civil Rights Movement. Some of the locals, man, is a pot of money waiting on you. Not just the money, just the fact that authentic voices are telling the stories. You see? We can monetize narrative control. We need to start having our think tanks, continue with our independent media outlets, education, publishing platforms. We can tell our own stories from our own lens. Um, Also, again, we can start exporting and teaching more about our spiritual systems. That's what root work. That's where we got the root work deodorant and hoodoo, like in the movie The Sinners, they were going in talking about what hoodoo is. So things like that. We can be the ones teaching the narrative and export it and teach it and gatekeep it like other groups, like they do Buddhism, Santeria, and all these other things. We can do the same thing with our culture. We can own and control our trends rather than just creating viral trends that other people capitalize on, like the TikTok dances and the slang and the fashion. Um, Man, we can brand every trend we start. See, we got to start, man, we got to start thinking like they think. See, this is why you better learn how to patent and copyright certain things. Because they do when they create something. The minute they come up with something, even if they don't create it, if they see you created it and there's no branding on it, boy, they'll start getting NFTs on it. They'll start getting copyrights on it. When they see something's hot, well, they hop on it. We got to beat them to the punch. When we start creating our own stuff, we have to start making sure the intellectual property is corrected and protected. You see? And also we got to use our soft power for our political bargaining too. See, we've already swayed elections. You see, we swayed an election in the last election, and they know it. The dominant society knows it. So we sway elections, we shape public discourse, we affect international opinion. So that power should be used strategically so that we can get real political gains out here. Stomp down on reparations with that. And we're doing a good job with um, keeping focus on reparations because we haven't stopped talking about it. And also, what we've done We've got a lot of the reparations gatekeepers out the way, because what we've had, the problem that we've had with the reparations conversation, we've had a whole bunch of non-FBA tethers in the damn mix. Every time we talk about reparations, somebody with some janky hairline jumps up. Man, we don't need no reparation. We need to stop begging these white people. Leave these white people alone. And then that just messes the old energy up. That messed everything up. That put a wrench in the game. Now we are doing paperwork checks. So the minute somebody steps up and says something janky, okay, man, where your family from? Well, Ghana, but we shouldn't get reparations. Well, nigga, you ain't even qualified. So why are you talking? So we're doing a very good job at cleaning out the riffraffs. That's why they're so mad. So we just have to keep it up, man. We have to again, we have to build international alliances through art, through music. We need to travel and click with folks and build internationally, not flee, but build. Know who certain distributors are, know who certain international music distributors are. So we do music here, we can go directly to some distributors in France, Italy, and sell our music there, sell our films there to the international market. You understand? Learn how to do international trade, because people are already watching us and what we do anyway. We don't need to go through no damn gatekeepers and through no middlemen. We can be out here getting these deals popping ourselves with the international community. You see? So a lot of great things we can do by utilizing our soft power.
I need some more work, baby, tonight. I need some more work on me tonight. I need some more work, baby, tonight.